Hey everybody, Roman Polner here coming to you live from Pillar 6 College Planning. And today, just like every day, what we're going to talk about is how to find money to help you make college more affordable so you can send your kids to school without taking on debt. And before I get into that, and there are three things that you should do to find more money, but before I get into that, I want to talk about kind of the both sides of Zoom, the good and the bad. I was just on the phone or on Zoom, like all of us are seemingly every single moment of every single day, with a parent with a college-bound high school junior, okay? And he says, look, I'm like literally freaking out about how we're gonna pay for college. We're like in the middle of picking schools. They're all very expensive and need your help. We're need money. So I said, well, great, tell me about what you've done thus far, right? And so this is all on Zoom, right? We're all on camera. And he's like, well, so I have a financial advisor and he told me to do this, and the other. And he said, because financial aid formula doesn't look at annuities and life insurance, he just had me put a bunch of money into my annuities. And I guess in that moment, I cringed a little bit. And obviously he wouldn't have seen that on the phone, but he certainly saw it on Zoom and said, did I do something wrong? And, I shouldn't have given away my emotions that quickly without first asking more questions, but he saw it, the cat's out of the bag. And so I said, well, let's talk about that. And as we dug a little deeper, I told him that, financial aid formula does not look at annuities for the most part. That's true, but your income has a much bigger impact on the amount that colleges are going to expect you to pay. And so by putting money into these insurance-based products, for most people doesn't work, right? Because the financial aid formula will ask about your income and your savings, and they're going to determine how much they think you should pay for college. And the income has a much, much bigger impact on that number than your savings do. So this person has an income that's high enough that really borderline disqualified them from financial aid. And so the fact that he put money into this type of a product wasn't the best thing for him. And it didn't help, nor will it help with their financial aid. I mean, it helped the financial advisor, but it's not helping the person that he's serving. So it was an unfortunate situation. And, the visible displeasure that I guess I must have had in my face at that moment, he caught on to it pretty quickly. And that's not what I want to talk about, even though, side note, if someone is telling you to put money into an insurance product just so you can hide money to qualify for financial aid, be wary. Like, don't just leap in head first. Do some research before you do that, and make sure that, number one, that it's actually going to help you, but number two, that you need the thing that they're telling you to buy. Let's talk about the visual cues of Zoom. Aside from the fact that this was, an obvious experience that a lot of us have on a daily basis, where everything that we do is on the computer screen these days, this is also an important thing for you to keep in mind when your kids are, interacting with anybody from colleges, because a lot of that is also done by Zoom. And just in general, our lives are constantly being shown on the internet and on social media. And colleges these days are looking at your kids' social media profiles. They're Googling their names. And when they're having conversations, whether through interviews or because you may be calling and having a conversation with the admission officer or the financial aid office, these people are highly trained and they're watching for every single cue that they can get to see if, this is a good kid that's going to make a good addition to their freshman class. They're also paying attention to the cues that you're putting forth as a parent, because they want to see if the reason that you're reaching out and the questions that you're asking and the things that you're asking for are sincere. It's February 23rd right now, and we're very, very busy working with families of high school seniors who have already applied, have gotten their acceptance letters, and we're going through the negotiations or the financial aid appeals or the special circumstance appeals with colleges' financial aid offices. And I tell parents all the time, reach out to the financial office directly. Ask them for more money, and there's a way that, obviously, you do that in the right way, but almost all of the time, you're on the screen with the other person who's going to decide whether or not they're going to give you more money. And this is a good reminder. Just be mindful of how you're presenting yourself. Be mindful of how the kids are presenting themselves. Be genuine. Obviously, my example wasn't, in any way indicative of this is not a bad thing. I mean, my response was genuinely true and, was sincere. But just a reminder, when you're having these conversations, I know there's a lot going on. We're busy. We're tired at the end of the day. But when you're having these conversations, come prepared, be sincere, be open. And, if you're negotiating or asking colleges to give you more money, come prepared and tell them why, and ask your kids to be involved, because seeing them on camera, seeing them or hearing them on the phone, even getting their names, CC'd on the email if that's how you're communicating with college admissions and financial aid offices, goes a long way, because it shows that your whole family, and kids most importantly, are included. This is something they're taking serious. And that's what colleges want. They want to see kids and families that take this seriously and that will be a good addition to their college, freshman class.